I'm Melissa.
I'm Jillian.
And I'm David.
And we're Disabled Disney.
I'm Jillian.
And I'm David.
And this week's video is going to be on the light and dark side of Galaxy's Edge. Bright suns if you're watching this during the day, and rising moons if you're watching this at night. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the dark side. And which is where the TIE
Eschelon
is. And there's a shop over there. It has the First Order sign. And you can buy dark side themed stuff.
Merchandise.
And there's a show kind of out of the TIE Eschelon with stormtroopers and a First Order
General
and
Kylo Ren.
No, then why don't you raise your hand? Okay. Sir, awaiting your orders.
We need information. I don't care if you get it from a pirate, a thief, or a traveler. But get it. Am I clear, Lieutenant?
Will you stop trying to get us in trouble?
Troopers! I want recon and patrol units questioning anyone who looks suspicious. And if you don't believe them, detain them! We have plenty of room in our prison transports for them or for you. Understood? Affirmative. Move out!
So they also have magic shots, which they call holograms there. So if you want a magic shot, just ask for a hologram and they will do that for you. And then we have a video up called First Person Point of View POV with Kylo Ren. That's Jillian and her experience with
I blame her.
Kylo Ren. It's your fault because I wouldn't have said it if you hadn't said, I really wish they'd come.
Okay, I didn't mean like that. I meant more of a, do you know anything about the rebel forces?
But they weren't coming over to us, so I got their attention.
Yeah, but I got accused of being a rebel spy. Thank you very much.
You've been accused
You are
of
the
that
rebel spy, though.
in
Twice.
yeah, from Star Wars. She's been
But
a
that
rebel spy
doesn't mean
twice.
anything.
Two times.
It's really fun to just sit over there and heckle the stormtroopers. And that's where the milk stand is. It's on that side. So go and get yourself a green milk.
Or
Blue
blue.
milk.
I prefer the green.
Blue.
And sit there and find a place to sit and heckle the stormtroopers.
Except
So much fun.
they don't really like respond.
It depends.
Although my favorite part was the dark side sucks. And all you see is Kylo Ren stop mid-step and turn.
So check out the first person POV experience with Kylo Ren. I'll link it at the end of the video. And then definitely hit the dark side. For sure, it's fun, it's cute. There's stormtroopers walking around. The restrooms are over there. The restrooms are over there.
The cantina's over there.
Yeah, the cantina's over there. Oga's Cantina. Check out our Oga's Cantina video.
I got a dumb question. If Oga supports the light side more than the dark side, why is her cantina over on the dark side, not the light side?
It's kind of in the middle where it changes.
But we didn't make it over to the light side.
Well, no, we did part of it. So, and then on the light side, you have the Millennium Falcon and the ride, Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run. And then a little further over on the other side that where we didn't go is the X-Wing fighter. It was the X-Wing fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they do a hologram over there as well. But we didn't make it over there. And you can get your picture taken with the Millennium Falcon, but they don't do magic shots or holograms. But they do have PhotoPass photographers out there. So if you've bought your Max Pass, go and get all the pictures with the PhotoPass photographers. So go over to the X-Wing fighter, get your picture taken with the PhotoPass photographers if you've gotten your your Max Pass, because you can get all the pictures you want for $15 and download them to your phone,
including all ride photos.
Mm-hmm. So the Max Pass is a really good, even just to buy for one person in your group, because then you can get all the pictures to that, one person. And we normally do it with me because I have the app on my phone. And then you just download the pictures to your phone and then text them or whatever you want to do with them.
And you can edit them too.
Yeah, you can edit them and do all sorts of cool stuff.
Borders, stickers.
We do have a video up somewhere about the apps, so check out that one. It's with the My Disney or the Disneyland app and the Play Disney Parks app and the Hidden Mickeys. I have it all together. So check out that video.
Supposedly there's Hidden Mickeys in Galaxy's Edge.
So the big thing right now, because Galaxy's Edge is not finished, is Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run.
We went on it like 5 times.
3. No, not 3 times.
It felt more than 3.
So you get in line. Right now they do not have fast passes, but that might change. If you have disability access service, the DAS Pass, you can get a return time. If you're just in a wheelchair, the line is wheelchair accessible, so you go through the regular line.
Although it is a lot of uphill, so just beware if you're pushing somebody in a wheelchair.
That's true, it is a lot. We are currently in the line for Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run. So in the queue line, there is a lot of stuff to look at. There's a lot of stuff to...
And if you're playing the game on the Disney Play Parks app, there's a lot of stuff you can do through the queue.
So open it before you even get in line. There's stuff you can do, and you can earn credits by doing it as you progress through. And then you get into this room where Onaka is giving you like a briefing.
This is hello, my friends. I am Hondo Onaka, and this is Onaka Transport Solutions. Today, I am offering the opportunity of a lifetime. I need flight crews to transport this valuable merchandise across the galaxy. Pilots to navigate, engineers to operate the ship, and gunners to defend the shipments. And that is where you come in. Oh, the Millennium Falcon.
About he's hiring pilots and gunners and engineers to smuggle cargo. And then you go down a corridor and you get to this little thing where they give you
A little bit of a warning on that gangplank corridor that you go down. The
It
floor
moves.
the floor is a little uneven. It was done that intentionally for the theming. It makes sense in there, but just be careful.
It can feel
on
a little
walking down
weird.
there. It'll feel like the floor's moving a little bit underneath of you when it's just collapsing down. But just be aware of that with any mobility issues.
and then you get into this little round room where they'll give you your pilot card or your gunner card or your engineer card.
And if you want the extra time that's longer than like 30 seconds or whatever it is, you ask for it there.
Okay, so for disability, the transferring on that ride's like 60 seconds. So you do have the option of asking for extra time, and that's the first place where you tell them, and they'll tell the people on down that you need the extra time. And they, at that point, they will guide you into the room where they have the like chessboard set up. And it's at this point where you can negotiate within your group to change roles if you like to, because they just randomly hand out the cards.
The cards
So-
are in a set order of how they hand them. First two people get pilot, second two people get gunner, third two people get
Engineer, because that's how it's set up for the seats. So
First
it's
two
at that
are
point where you
pilots.
can negotiate with your group as to who wants to be what. I highly recommend doing that if you have different mobility needs, or different needs. The first thing is it is a motion ride. It does move, kind of like Star Tours. So if you are subject to motion sickness, I'm going to recommend you do one of the back ones, like engineer or gunner. Because number one, you feel less movement in the back than you do in the front.
And number two, you're not looking at the screen as much, you're more focused on your buttons.
Right. So, and you can pretty much not look at the screen at all and just look at your buttons, which is easier with the motion sickness. The other thing is if you have something on one side of you versus the other side, like I was having a hard time with my left side when we were there. It was cramping a lot. And one of the times I did left gunner, I had a much harder time with that than I did with the stuff on the right side because I was having a problem with the left side of my body. So if you have a disorder where you have weakness or limited mobility with one side or the other, make sure you get a position that's going to be okay for you, either the right or the left, and then front, middle, and back. And the other thing that I really wanted to say is don't be worried if someone in your party can't push their buttons if they want to go on it and just to enjoy the experience. Eventually it does everything on its own. So if you have a little one that's tall enough but they're not really up to being able to push the buttons, or somebody that doesn't understand but they're willing to go on it, or whatever, don't worry about that. Eventually everything happens on its own. The ride will progress. So don't worry about that.
You may not get as many credits, but
And for that, you need to have your Disney Play Parks app open to get credits at the end. So from there, they call your group based on color.
Orange, white, purple, green,
Red, blue. Those are the colors I heard. I don't know. Or in a small group where you're going to get paired up with someone else like us, it's 6 people. So they would, and there was 4 of us that went in my group. So they would put a group of 2 with us. You want to
Cool.
make sure to get those other people with you because they call you as a group. So if someone either behind you or in front of you gets handed the other 2 cards for your group, make sure to grab them so you're all together because they call you together as a group. And then it's at that point in time you should discuss with them. What I did was I would discuss with them, you know, my needs, like I need to sit, you know, on the right side or whatever, to where, so like if someone else had gotten, like the one lady the one time didn't want to do pilot, so I stepped up and did it. And then I discussed with her son, I think it was, you know, the right or the left, and because he was the other pilot, so he took the left and I took the right. And
although she was pretty good for Gunner because she was opposite me.
So it's at that point in time when you should discuss with your group where everybody wants to sit and all that stuff. When they call your color, you go in and you're in another briefing area. And Onaka's saying some really funny things about shit being broken.
He's like, this never happens.
What?
Really? It happens twice a day?
Twice a day?
And problems, and
It's
really
hilarious.
funny. And then he says, you know, listen to the cast member or the
Team member.
member, whatever he says, and they'll give you further instructions. And at that point in time, the previous crew will be debarking and being sent down the elevator.
Although it cracks me up as the previous crews have been on there for 2 days. I'm gonna go.
There was
Yeah.
one of the times that they were like, okay, so Onaka's got some words of wisdom for you. Well, they're words.
They'll say something
They're not
funny
very wise.
to that point. And then they'll get off and then you'll get on. You can pull your wheelchair or power scooter, whatever you have, up all the way in. If you need to, they'll take it off for you.
The really cool thing about Disney is they'll give you the time that you need.
They'll give you as much time as you need to transfer. And that's why you ask for the extra time. Make sure they understand. They have one that's set up specifically for disability people. So you have the extra time. And then
and when you get in there, don't push any buttons until they tell you to.
and then they will tell you to start pushing the buttons. So with the pilot, the right pilot controls the up and down and light speed. The left pilot controls the left to right. And
Light speed to Endor.
every time I jumped it into light speed, that's what I said, light speed to Endor. Behind the pilots are the 2 gunners. There's 2 settings for the gunners, automatic and manual. Manual gets you more credits, but it's harder. And I did not realize this until about halfway through the ride. You do kind of have to look at the screen on manual, because I did manual, because it has 3 buttons. And she just told me to push the button that light up. The problem is she did automatic.
Because I assumed you were going to go with automatic because it's easier. I told you it's easier.
Automatic is easier. I went with manual because I wanted to try it. So with manual, all 3 of the buttons light up, and then you have to push the top button, shoots up. The middle button shoots out, and the bottom button shoots down. So you have to look and see where the stuff is on the screen and then push the corresponding button. With automatic, it just lights up. It automatically targets and you just push the one that's lit up.
Because there's only one button that lights up unless you're shooting the missiles. Then it's this big red one.
And then you hit that.
That's like right by your face and you're like...
But if you choose manual, then all 3 light up, and you have to kind of watch the screen and figure out if you should aim up, middle, or down.
I recommend automatic.
Especially if you have disabilities like me. My hand was hurting so bad by the time, and my wrist was hurting really bad, and I was having problems with my left side anyway, and I was on the left side, and my whole left side was cramping.
You didn't
So-
tell me that, otherwise I would have sat on the left side.
I didn't really realize it until I was there and doing it. So yeah, if you have a lot of disabilities, set the gunner to automatic, and then it targets for you, and you just have to push the button to fire. Now with the engineer position, which is the back position,
You're just pushing a bunch of buttons every time the pilots break something.
I did notice I had more time to kind of enjoy what was going on the screen with that one, because I did do engineer. I did all three.
I did gunner and engineer.
And you just did engineer, right?
He did engineer and
No, I
gunner.
did engineering.
Okay. And
We both need to do pilot next time we go.
yeah. And so with engineer, because you only have to fix the stuff when the pilots hit stuff or when stuff goes really wrong. And then there's a lot of buttons to push at once. But other than that, you're not really doing anything.
And switches.
There's a few switches. So I did get to kind of enjoy the story that was going on while I was kind of looking at it. I did get to look up occasionally and kind of enjoy the story. That's the position I did the best in, engineer.
I think pretty much anyone that's an engineer does the best in engineer because it doesn't require, no offense Dad, it doesn't require a lot of skills to push buttons and flip switches. All you have to do is...
Like what you were doing in gunner takes a lot of... This is all you're doing.
No.
That's it.
There's only one spot where you fire the missiles.
Anyway.
And other than that, you're like...
That doesn't take any skill. All you're doing is pushing a button as fast as you can.
That hurts
That's like-
after a while.
It's like Galaga without the joystick.
Anyway, so overall, I thought it was really great themed. I really loved the ride, the experience, being able. It's like Star Tours, but you get to interact with it.
Yeah, it's interactive. It's the interactive version of Star Tours. But you don't have the 3D glasses.
No, which
So-
makes it better for me motion-wise. I tend to get a little bit motion sick with the 3D anymore.
And it doesn't make my head hurt. So for you people with glasses that have a hard time with the 3D aspects of Star Tours, Millennium Falcon Smugglers runs better.
And you get to interact with it and somewhat control the outcome. I mean, the thing goes through the same story pretty much no matter what. But you do control how well you fly through stuff, the pilots do, and there is some control aspect to it.
Although my
I thought it was
favorite
really
part
good.
was, take a race of action. Take a race of action. Because
He says, Onaka tells you to take evasive action, so I shouted, take a race of action.
From Zuthura.
From Zathura. And then because he says it twice, then Jillian shouted, take a race of action.
Because she didn't say it the second time.
So what was your favorite part of Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run?
The queue.
The queue is your favorite part?
Yes. I really like the queue. Sue me.
They do have arguments constantly.
Yeah, that you can hear over the
over
speakers.
the speakers. And
That's funny, and they have little
And
cargo things here and there.
And Onaka will pop in every so often and be like, hey, shut up!
What was your favorite part of Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run?
Just the fact that it really kind of made you feel like you were actually on the Millennium Falcon.
You do.
The way their attention to detail on that, and how they have you waiting in the Millennium Falcon, not the one out front, but
That it's set up like you're going, you're going into like the spaceport to be hired, and then you're walking onto the Millennium Falcon once you're hired.
Although
yeah.
the part where he's talking to Chewie is really funny.
Yeah, you do get to see Chewie. So
and it's on loan from Chewie. Chewie's letting us borrow it.
My favorite part was, don't damage it too much, because otherwise you're going to have to deal with the Wookiee. That's what Anaku says. Don't damage it too much or you're going to have to deal with the Wookiee.
So my favorite part of the attraction is being able to put it into light speed. That was so much fun. right side pilot, you gotta try it, honestly. It's just a lever you pull, but it's just like you're sitting there and you're like, light speed, and as soon as you pull it, it does the light speed thing. And
Although the thing I thought was funny is if I hadn't seen videos of the original Star Tours, I wouldn't have thought it was funny when she yelled light speed to Endor. Because
yeah, she's never been on the original Star Tours, but we have showed her videos on YouTube. So if you haven't experienced the original Star Tours, find a video on YouTube,
and you'll understand why that's funny.
Says light speed to Endor, and now
DJ Rex.
That is a DJ
in Oga's Cantina. So see our Oga's Cantina video about that. So this is our final video for right now on Galaxy's Edge. Ultimately, what was the best part of Galaxy's Edge?
You want me to pick something?
Mm-hmm.
Can you circle around and come back to me?
Sure. What was the best part of Galaxy's Edge for you, honey?
Walking up that hill right next to that restaurant and seeing the Millennium Falcon sitting there for the first time.
Yeah, that was
just...
It was super cool. Yeah, I guess the Millennium Falcon, being able to see it and experience that attraction, that was amazing. I would definitely be really excited to do it again. And we only had to wait in line like an hour, which is perfectly fine. I thought. Have you picked anything yet?
Having the milk station.
You didn't like the milk stand though.
It wasn't that I didn't like it. It's I can't really do the consistency of it because it tastes like a slushie.
Yeah.
It looks and tastes like a slushie. The
You
consistency
sure it wasn't
of
the
a slushie.
thermal detonator sodas? That one of them actually exploded on you when you tried to
The
open it?
Sprite exploded. That one. This one actually exploded on me when I opened it.
It did.
And I was like, oh, this is gonna end well.
And that's in our food video, our Galaxy's Edge food video, if you want to see that.
And there was a detail that I don't think we got pictures of, but I did notice that there's a cargo ship up on the roofs of one of the buildings.
Oh, yeah.
And that has 3 cargo containers, and the years on it.
You can see it from the queue line when you're up at the top.
The cargo containers actually have
8, 6.
the 3 years of the years the movies came.
Have you been to Galaxy's Edge yet? What was your favorite part, experience, thing to see, food, drink, Tatooine sunset?
That was really good. Not as good as Gaston's brew, though.
What was your favorite thing? Tell us in the comments. And from Disabled Disney till the Spires.
Bye.
Support us on Patreon for special content and Disabled Disney swag.
Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest pages.
Hit that subscribe and bell icon to be notified when we upload a new video.
We really appreciate the likes, comments, and subscribes. Now, check out more content from our channel by clicking in your upper right-hand corner on the next video.